Besides the pandemic, inflation, rising interest rates, there's something else that's made a big difference in the housing market, and that is the supplies. It's been really hard to get new flooring, new cabinets, new sinks, new faucets. When you order these items, they can be back ordered for months. And we're not even talking just like fancy stuff from Italy, just like normal stuff that you would need for your house. So if you're trying to sell your house and you want to get it on the market in the next month or two, it might be really hard. Hi, I'm Gwyneth Panos. I'm your realtor and friend here in the Silicon Valley, Santa Clara, San Mateo County mostly. Today we're going to be talking about the improvements you can make to your home to prep it for sale, specifically right now, as of January 2022. As you probably know, kitchens, baths, curb appeal, those are the things that sell houses. So that's where you want to spend a lot of your energy, time, and money. There are buyers who want a house that's perfectly what we call turnkey, that they don't have to do anything to the house when they move in. They can just move in, set up shop, they're done. But there are people who want a project or they want a deal. So they want what we call fixers. But when I say fixer-upper, it doesn't always mean that it's like a dilapidated, falling apart, wallpaper peeling off and stains everywhere. It doesn't always mean a haunted house, I guess is what I mean. Sometimes it just means outdated and it needs a refresh. But a whole new kitchen remodel could cost $60,000. Is that worth it for you before selling your home? Not necessarily. I mean, especially with contractors in high demand and hard to find, and cabinets and flooring and everything that's back ordered, like I mentioned, it might not be in your best interest. Now, since you know that kitchens and bathrooms sell homes, but I'm telling you not to get a new floor and not to get new cabinetry, I mean, unless you can afford it and unless you think you can get it in a quick amount of time and you have a contractor that's available to help you right away. The problem is a lot of contractors are really busy. They're booked up on multiple projects. So while you're waiting for your cabinets to come in, the contractor is going off working on another project. Then by the time your cabinets come in, they might be already halfway through theirs and they're not gonna stop because of some contract they might have with that new client, and it's hard to get them back. If you think you have enough time and enough money that you can get new cabinets and new flooring put in, awesome. But if that's an issue at all, instead, why don't you consider repainting the cabinetry and putting a new countertop in? That is if it's an upgrade, like if you have laminate. So new countertops, maybe paint the cabinets, and definitely consider putting new hardware on the doors of your cabinets. That can make a huge difference. And not just the little dot ones, actual handles. Another big trend right now is black, changing all your hardware to black. Especially if you have white cabinetry, the black gives it that really nice contrast. You can also reseal your tiles or repaint your tiles. If you have one of those counters or bathrooms with a ton of tiles everywhere, they might be pink from the 50s, just getting them painted white, there's like a glaze. It's not gonna be something that's just gonna peel off. Even if they know it's technically a fixer-upper because you have these tiles on your countertops in the kitchen that you know are from like the 50s or the 70s or the 80s, the buyers will walk in knowing they're probably gonna do a kitchen remodel. But they're spending so much money on this house, maybe they can't afford it for a year or two until they do some saving. So if you make the kitchen clean and fresh and usable, they know they could move in right now, live there as it is, and they can fix it up down the road. If it's really gross, like dirty, and the grout's kind of coming up, or there's crumbs or mold or microbial growth growing in little nooks and crannies, it doesn't feel clean, it doesn't feel nice, it doesn't feel inviting, it doesn't have that wow factor for sure. Of course, declutter or preferably clear everything out completely so that none of your personal belongings are in there and you just let the stagers do their magic. Focus on painting, focus on deep cleaning, new grout, new caulking. I mean, that can make a huge difference. It just looks clean and fresh. And of course, paint. You might have just gotten your house painted like a few years ago, but once you start taking the pictures off the walls, you'll start to notice there's a lot of discoloration, like dust and whatnot around the edges where the picture frames used to be. And there's also scrapes and nicks that you get just from moving. Also, you're gonna have the holes from the old picture frames from the nails, so you're gonna wanna spackle that up. And also you'll wanna make it some neutral colors, a shade of off-white, gray, but light gray, or a beige, or what we call grayish, which is sort of a mix between the two. You definitely want to get all your carpets deep cleaned, or refinishing your floors instead of redoing them completely. If you have hardwoods, buff them out, get a nice new stain put on, or even a clear. You don't even have to add color. Take care of the weeds and the overgrown stuff in your landscaping and yard. Make it clean and fresh, nothing that they could trip on their way to the front door. Nothing that looks too busy and messy. When buyers walk in, they don't always have an imagination. Sometimes they can't imagine the home with a different color on the wall. They can't imagine the home with a new kitchen. And if it feels dingy and dirty or it smells like an animal, because I know a lot of people have pets, it's harder to sell your home, or it's harder to sell it for as much money, at least. The fewer things that they're gonna have to fix later, or the fewer things that they might have questions about, like, I wonder why there's that scrape there. I wonder why the floors feel a little unlevel. I wonder why they haven't fixed the whatever. The less questions they have and the less things they know they have to fix up later, the better for you. The more you're gonna get a feeding frenzy at your house with tons of buyers, lots of offers, and it's gonna go way over asking. I hope this was helpful to you. If it was, please like my video and please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to give you more advice about home buying, home ownership, selling, and the Silicon Valley. My channel is not just about homes, it's also about living in the Silicon Valley and places to go and things to do. So please consider subscribing. Thank you. Have a great day.